You're listening to Body Confident Friday, the place to be for tools, strategies, and perspectives to help you feel more comfortable and confident in your body. I'm Judy Craddock, the Body Confidence Coach, author of the Little Book of Body Confidence, and creator of the Body Confidence Journey, the coaching program for women who want to stop chasing the perfect body and embrace the one that they are in. Welcome to the show. Today I want to talk about how to feel your feelings. And that's especially when it comes to the way that you feel about your body. Now, I have to admit that only a few years ago, I really didn't get what it meant to sit with or to feel your feelings. And I'd heard people talk about sitting with their feelings, but I had absolutely no idea how to do this. So if you feel the same way, I get it. We aren't taught how to feel our feelings. Instead, we're told to hold on to them and not to express them. And if you don't know how to feel your feelings, it may be that just like me, you've spent a lot of years avoiding them. But working with a psychologist over recent years has taught me how to feel my feelings, to let them move through me rather than try to avoid them by keeping busy or thinking about how I feel, which is one way that many of us avoid actually feeling our feelings. So if you've got any kind of healing to do, and that might be trauma with a little or a big T, or maybe it's dealing with a loss, or if you're working on healing the relationship with your body, I really think that feeling your feelings is vital, and it's vital to being a really healthy, functioning adult, and certainly that's been my experience. And I would go as far to say that feeling is healing. There can't be any healing without first processing any repressed emotions that have been quite literally trapped in your body for so long. And I often find that in sessions, clients will say things to me like, I said I wouldn't cry. I don't know what's wrong with me. Or I just can't get rid of this sadness that I'm feeling. And, there's this false belief in our quick fix culture that you need to be positive all the time in order to heal anything, whether that's some trauma or body image. But that's just toxic positivity, that idea. Or as I call it when it relates to your body, that's toxic body positivity. Feeling your feelings helps you to process and release, and trying to deny feelings just makes them eat away at you even more and make you feel worse and worse. Now, that's not to say that there won't be any discomfort when you feel your feelings, because there probably will be. But this doesn't last forever. And what most people don't realize, and I was one of them, is that the other side of that discomfort is where the healing takes place. Now, while I believe that the best way to get in touch with your feelings is to work with a professional, if you can, I recognize that this isn't accessible for everyone, and I fortunately have some privilege that has enabled me to work with a psychologist to help me deal with some of my past trauma. But to help you get started with feeling your feelings, if maybe you're just curious to see what that feels like, or if working with a professional isn't accessible with you, I'd like to share a process that has helped me and still does to sit with what I'm feeling. And you can use this process to help you feel any feelings. But if you are particularly struggling with your body image, I know that when you can sit with the feelings that you have about your body, it does promote healing. So if you feel able to, give the process that I'm about to share a try for yourself, or enlist the support of a friend or a trusted family member just to be with you while you work through it. So there are 6 steps to this process. So you might want to just listen to this once all the way through, and then maybe come back to it when you're ready to actually sit and feel your feelings. So the first step is just to settle. So that's about getting comfortable, probably sitting in a chair that has your back upright. And if it feels safe to do so, just closing your eyes and taking a few deep breaths. And then step 2 is about focusing inwards. So in this step, you're going to start to notice the sensations in your body. So this is about trying to really go inside and notice all those little sensations that are going on in your body. So for example, when you've got some emotion coming up, you might feel like your chest is tight or heavy, or your throat feels tight, almost like it's got a lump in it. Or for me, I quite often have this quite activated feeling in my upper chest, which feels like anxiety, or it might be kind of an uneasy swirling feeling in your tummy. Just notice whatever is there. Just notice if there are any sensations present that are coming up in your body. And step 3 is then to notice the emotion. So what emotion accompanies that sensation? And maybe just ask the question, what emotion are these sensations trying to express? Now don't worry if this isn't immediately obvious to you. Just continue to focus on the sensations until you get a sense of what is showing up for you. It might be sadness, it could be anger, it could be grief, it could be shame, it could be any number of emotions, or it might be more than one. But try not to judge, just be curious about the emotion and don't try to push it away. And then step 4 is to really stay with the sensation. Stay with that sensory experience of the emotion if you can. Don't try and judge it or change it, or a lot of times, because it can start to feel a bit uncomfortable at this stage, we want to get rid of it, we want to push it away. Try just to stay with it, just observe it. Step 5 is to express. Now, if the emotion starts to express itself bodily, so this may be something that just happens, it may feel like it's not within your control. So for example, if you notice yourself crying, you might shake, you might start to rock, just allow that. And this can feel a little bit scary when this first happens, but just remember, this isn't going to hurt you. This is just the emotion releasing. Emotions are literally energy in motion. That's what emotion means. And so just allow this process to continue to its natural conclusion, or as long as you feel that you can tolerate it. And then step 6 is to notice what happens once you've allowed yourself to feel. So if you've allowed the emotion to pass through you, you might just want to take a couple of deep breaths after that, and then tune into what do you notice. Has the intensity of the emotion, the sensations in your body, has it lessened? Or maybe you feel a kind of sense of calm, or I often feel like I've had some kind of release, like there's kind of some more space in my body now. You may also feel quite tired. I often do, because carrying around an emotion for so long and not letting it out is exhausting. Remember that feeling your feelings won't harm you. It may feel uncomfortable, but there will be some relief the other side of that release. So think about it this way. Think back to a time when you've had a really good cry, and perhaps after you've had like those really racking, snotty, horrible sobs, and it feels horrible at the time, afterwards you feel so much calmer, like a weight has lifted. That's just a release of emotion. Holding on to feelings is more harmful in the long term. And if you're interested to read more about repressed emotions and the impact that this can have on our health, there's a book called When the Body Says No by Gabor Mate, and he looks at the interaction between the body and the brain, and so not the brain, the mind and the body connection, and explores, the role that repressed emotion can have in triggering disease. So you might want to go check that out if you're interested to know more. So if you don't process and release long-held emotions about your body or about anything else, you'll get stuck in the same old patterns and relationships. So you'll get stuck in that same relationship with your body. You can't create a healthier relationship with your body until you allow the old conditioning and all the emotions that come with that to kind of fall away, to be processed and released. And so healing the relationship with your body really isn't about being positive all the time and denying your feelings. Remember, that's just toxic body positivity. It's about acknowledging and feeling those really big emotions. And so if you're working on the relationship with your body right now, I hope that this episode has given you some new insights and some food for thought. And I'd love to know if you're going to give this process a try, or if you have given it a try, how you found it. Please leave me a comment below wherever you are listening. That's all I've got for this episode of Body Confident Friday. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope to catch you next time.